Alrighty.
That was something.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, a little intro I made up last night. That will be our new intro moving forward
Love
because
it.
I appreciate it, man. Season 2, episode 44 of the Third and 10 podcast begins now. What's going on, guys? I'm Nate. That's Brian here to my right. And Brian, happy Tuesday to you. How you doing? It's almost Thanksgiving. You excited?
Yeah, of course I'm excited. You know, it's Thanksgiving's always been my favorite holiday since I was a little kid. Just it's a day of eating, watching football. Like it's awesome.
All right. Ham or turkey, good sir?
Oh yeah. Turkey.
Turkey. There we go.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Actually, I don't like ham, surprising.
really?
I've tried it a few times, just never got into it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's ham always. I think kind of guess it's easy because like if you don't finish the ham that first day, you can always eat the next day, heat it up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be dry. With turkey, it's like you don't eat it that first day, like most of it, and you try to eat it the next day. It's hard because it's like dry.
Yeah. I used to
Yeah.
put like on a sandwich the next day. Little cheese,
Mm.
lettuce, get it like the turkey's there, but it's mixed in with everything else. So you kind of get like the dry part of it gets overmatched.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. But hey, we hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. This will be the only episode of the week. As Thursday, Friday is gonna be Thanksgiving break for everyone, and we want to spend time with our families, and also for you guys to just enjoy your time with the families, watch football, and then we'll be back with you guys next week. But that's not to say that we will not have fun today, talking about the game that we know and love, which is the game of football in the NFL. Sadly, because well,
Our
for
team
our team,
sucks.
yeah. Let's be honest. After the quarterback change from Daniel Jones to Tom DeVito, we thought that would be a spark that would be ignited because of him. Yeah, if the spark was 7 points, we are in for a long rest of this. It was already going to be a long year as it was, but with DeVito only putting up 7 points for this offense that just looked the same even without Daniel Jones at quarterback. Questions are raised as to whether was Daniel Jones even the main problem. Is there a deeper meaning into it? Now we'll dive into that in just a bit, but I think to shortly sum up what happened on Sunday, a video from Malik Neighbors will kind of get the job done. What do you got, Malik?
Go out there first, second quarter, don't get the ball, start getting targets at the end. I mean, can't do nothing. Start getting the ball when it's 30-0. What you want me to do?
Why in the first half are they not looking at
I
you?
don't know. Talk to Dave about that. Talk to Dave.
Did you say something to the coaches at halftime?
I mean, they know. They come up to me, ask me what plays I want. That was that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah, apparently he spoke with Shane and Daboll and he apologized today
Oh, okay.
for his comments. But because the reason why I love Malik is he said, I do not take anything I said back. So that, my friends,
yeah.
is what
Well,
I expect.
we saw it in Hard Knocks. Brian Daboll asked him, like, how do you handle adversity? He goes, if like you're not getting the ball, he's like, I'm gonna lash out because I'm a competitor. Like we knew this was gonna happen with Malik Neighbors. There was gonna be an outburst like this. And like I know everyone's comparing him to Odell and all that stuff, but the fact that he went to Daboll and Shane and apologized for making a spectacle of it, I think that shows maturity in him and kind of like, all right, he's saying this not because he's upset with the team. He just wants to compete and he's not getting that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he's not getting targets early in the game. Like the game plan wasn't even fixated towards him and the rest of the receiving core until like late in the game when their team was already down and they had to pass because there was no point in running the ball whatsoever. Malik against the Buccaneers only had, I believe, 6 catches, 64 yards. It was bad. Tyrone Tracy, even him, who arguably was the best offensive player for this Giants team these past few weeks, only had 9 carries for 49 yards. So the game plan was very just not the same like we've been used to seeing. And yes, the Giants have lost all the other games that New York has, either focused on running or whatever they've tried to do. It doesn't matter. Like they just still lose. But the fact that Tracy only got 9 carries, that's a bit concerning because he has been their most
the most consistent, most explosive back. And like I know we fumbled again on Sunday. Yeah. I hope that lack of carries isn't a punishment for his fumbling, because at this point in the season, like there's no point of playing Singletary. Okay. Like just give Tracy the ball, let him work out these kinks, and like we'll get to next year. Because like everyone forgets that Tiki Barber fumbled the ball every single time he was out there. Fumbleitis was a real thing that was being said about Tiki Barber. But, they fixed it because they kept them out there. And during, the lost points of the season, they're like, all right, you're going to work on not fumbling the football. And that is something that I think Tracy has to do. Just keep giving him carries. If he fumbles, oh well, figure out why he's fumbling.
Yeah.
That's on coaching. That's on the coaching to figure it out.
It's a lost season. You have nothing to play for. You might as well just play all the young, players you can get out there and get the most out of their ability this year. Because what are you gonna do? You're 2-9. You're gonna what are you gonna do? Win your next 8 something games ish?
So what? You'd be 8-9 and still miss the playoffs? Cool.
Yeah. So.
And if by some miracle you sneak in, you get blown out in the first round, what's that do for anybody besides set this franchise back?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, look, this Giants team just continues to disappoint. I don't even want to talk about the game. That's why I'm drawing up blanks, because I don't want to talk about the game. I just want to
talk about it. It was over from the very beginning. The Buccaneers, you had like a 10-minute drive, marched down right the field for a touchdown. You blinked and it was like 20. It was 17-0. Like the Giants showed no heart, no passion in this game, which, you would think there'd be something, because, the performance of the team got a man, essentially fired. I know Daniel Jones was cut and stuff, but the reason the Giants were so bad was, got Jones released. So you would think that, hey, we cost this guy a job. Let's rally around that point and go out there and prove him wrong. That just didn't happen on Sunday.
Yeah, nothing. I guess one question, if I could ask you about the game, and your opinion, of course, because it was just so hard to watch for the both of us.
Yeah.
But do you feel like the team just kind of made a statement because of the Jones, being released and everything, in terms of
I think
a business decision?
I think it was a business decision. I think, like we mentioned it on this podcast a few weeks ago, and I think we still underestimated this, and the media in general underestimated how much Daniel Jones was loved in that locker room. Like we said, the work ethic that resonates with guys. I really think, there was the video of the Daboll press conference, and you hear a bunch of banging in the background. Yeah, that was confirmed to be Darius Slayton throwing a chair because he was upset that Daniel Jones was cut. I'm not sure that's what some Giants locker room attendants have said, that was Slayton in that video. So Daniel Jones was a guy that earned a lot and was beloved in that locker room, and you cut a guy that was a best friend of some of those guys, and they're not gonna take kindly to that. And those are things that lose locker rooms, especially when it's something as simple as money. We think about it it was a smart move to cut Daniel Jones for the money and stuff, but players don't think that way. They don't think that like that.
Yeah, I mean, so what do they want? Do they want to put Jones back under center if they could?
Or maybe just have him on the team. You're in a lose-lose situation. It's either you cut Jones and you piss the locker room off, or you keep Jones out there, he gets hurt, and you're stuck with him.
Mm-hmm. And then the team is like, oh, well, if he got hurt, it's okay. At least he's still here. But I think the players, if it was a business, decision, I think they don't understand just the fact that this, they need to look towards the future. They're getting a quarterback of the future starting in the draft in April.
Right, yeah. So. And that's easy for us to say because we know for a fact we'll be here next year. Those guys don't know that. There's no guarantee that they're going to be back in this roster next year. So
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Like they have to look at it from a business point, but just like when it's emotion and stuff like that, it's involved. And like when you're a player and have that personal connection with somebody, it's hard to see that big picture.
Yes, because 6 years of mediocrity was
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying
yeah,
to present like what the players feel about it, and like that's how they think.
yeah,
We're like we could sit here and think 5 years down the line because we know, okay, 5 years down the line, no matter what happens Sunday, I'm still sitting down and watching the Giants. Five
yeah.
years down the line, that guy might not be in the league anymore.
hmm Yeah, and it's just I just don't know why the players are just acting like he was. I get he was a great teammate, but I just don't understand why they treat him like some sort of hero, like he did something for this
Mhm.
team other than one playoff win. And they, we're gonna miss him. Hey, of course, you're gonna miss him, but
Yeah.
don't go over here making business decisions when like for 11 game or 10 games this season, we saw him just stink up the joint and couldn't get the offense consistently running the way it should be. And yes, I understand. One game of DeVito so far, same thing. Same thing. The offense looks like crap. So maybe it's not the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, we're not expecting much of DeVito anyways.
No.
He was third string for a reason. He was promoted to QB1 because of what he did last year. He had a rough beginning game against Dallas or whoever he started against.
I think it was Dallas. I think he came in for relief.
Against
No,
with the
he came in for the relief with the Jets game, and then his first start was against Dallas. Yeah, and struggled.
Dallas.
Yep.
See, so
But even then, they put up 17 points, I think, in that game.
yeah, but still, the offense was an issue. So the offense.
I'm not saying it wasn't an issue, but I'm like, it wasn't as just like
lackluster.
Not yeah. They're at least getting in the end zone.
Which kind of leads us to our next topic, which is with Daboll and Shane, because at this point, you brought up a good point where at least last year the offense put up points against Dallas, 17 points or whatever the case may be. So is the offense just worse this year? I mean, we went from an average offense in 2022 in the playoff run to a bit worse last year to even worse this year. I think we're averaging like 15 points a game still this season so far, which has to be worse than the league.
Oh yeah, it's got
So
to
what?
be. Because
So
because
what is
Cleveland
it?
I think has jumped up.
Yeah, because of Winston. Because Winston is at least running that offense effectively.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe it's the coaching staff that is the problem? Because the past couple of years, Mike Kafka has called plays for this offense. In the first year with Daboll calling plays, we have seen a major decrease in points per game, effectiveness on offense.
Yeah.
Just everything on offense is not the same ever since Daboll has taken over play calling. And that has something that no one expected heading into this year because everyone thought like, oh, Daboll calling plays equals success. None of that. So do you think, and I hate to say it, is Daboll the issue? And how much does this game affect him and Joe Shane's job security heading into 2025?
So I think Daboll is part of the issue. I think Daboll is a coach that he needs guys to fit into what he wants to run and won't be able to be flexible with the guys. Like everyone has to fit perfectly into what he wants to do, or else the whole offense won't work. Which, you should be getting players that ideally fit your offensive scheme. But at the same time, if you're a good coach or a great coach, you have to bend and, will the playbook to make what you have work. We saw that in 2022 with Daboll, and we haven't seen it since. So that definitely is an issue. Part of the issue could also be this offense is having an identity crisis because we had Saquon Barkley for so many years, and we've taken him out, and we've lost that, key piece. And I know we have great playmakers like Malik Neighbors, but Neighbors is only a rookie. Tracy's a rookie. We can't expect these guys to fill the hole that Saquon left in their rookie year. That's unfair. So there's definitely who is the face of this offense? That could be part of the reason why. But if you had to tell me right now, I would say I think it's 60-40 Shane's back next year. I think Shane's job is pretty safe. I think Mara came out for the game going, I know why he gave him the Daniel Jones contract. And that's been his biggest critique of his job so far. I know the draft has been a little lackluster, but he's hit just an absolute grand slam with this last one. So I'll think he has another opportunity to try to repeat that. With Daboll, I think it's 50-50 because he's losing that locker room. And Shane probably isn't a popular figure in the locker room. So if Shane wants to win back that locker room, it might just have to be Daboll falling on the sword. Be like, look, I fired Daboll. I'll bring you in a guy that will, be your guy kind of thing. So I think, honestly, it's 50-50 for Daboll at this point. I don't think they'll fire both, but Daboll is definitely – his seat's hot. I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat, but, it's getting warm.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say my emotions will get the best of me in a way in terms of my answer to this question, because I love Daboll and Shane. I do. I know.
And I do too. I think they're great. I really do. But I just had to think logistically about this team and what is best for the future of this franchise. And if Daboll is broken that locker room, you can't bring him back.
And look, he is his first year.
Yeah.
9 and I know it's like, oh, you're always going back to 2022 for success. Stop. And look, I understand that. I do. But I'm bringing up 2022 again because who was the OC? Mike Kafka. What I'm basically saying is maybe I understand how good Daboll is at play calling. I do. He was great in Buffalo. Maybe it's time to give back the reins. Maybe it's not Kafka. Maybe you give it to someone. Maybe you fire Mike Kafka in the offseason. He's been kind of quiet. It seems like Kafka. Maybe he's just, in the background, being a regular OC that's not calling plays. Maybe you bring in a better OC. Maybe say Daboll can have a say on the offense, but him not call plays.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's too much on his plate. Not just because you're a good offensive play caller in Buffalo doesn't mean that you can assume both the head coach and play caller at the same time. It sometimes doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, we fully expect the Daboll, and I think that's why we're kind of calling for a seat, or people are calling for a seat. We expected him coming into this year to call plays and be like, hey, with you calling plays now, this offense should be much, much better. Spoiler, it hasn't.
Yeah.
So with Joe Shane, he's safe to me. Like you mentioned the draft class, and yes, he's made 1.5 bad decisions with the Saquon thing. Xavier McKinney is the only half part because, look, I get he has 7 interceptions, but so are we just going to sit here and act like interceptions is everything? What happened to what's his name? The Cowboys corner. Diggs.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, he's had one season with a crazy amount of interceptions, and look at him now. He sucks.
Yeah. Well, I would even give Saquon as a full point either because, yes, Saquon Barkley is going on a generational run right now. He's living up to the potential, 255 yards, which hasn't been rushed since 2009. But he wouldn't be doing that for the Giants. But we would still have to pay him that high cap hit and that high, salary. So, at most, the Giants have 4 wins. I get Saquon Barkley was really good here, and he's still a really good player. It's just 100%. The Giants weren't a Saquon Barkley away from winning. So, letting him walk, and you could say, they should have traded him. Yeah, they probably should have traded him. But letting him walk, I don't think is the worst decision. It's just amplified with the Daniel Jones situation and the losing and how good Saquon has been. But, if you just look at it, what type of team the Giants are, a rebuilding team, they shouldn't be giving $14 million to a running back.
Yeah. Saquon has been playing behind an outstanding offensive line in Philadelphia. Yeah. And the fact that it's not all, the offense doesn't have to run through him. They have 2 outstanding receivers and a quarterback who can get them the football in Brown, Smith, and Hurts being the quarterback, respectively.
Hurts can take over the run game, too, if he has to.
Yeah.
Saquon's not going. All right, Hurts is dual threat. I know we all we all claim Jones was dual threat, but Hurts is actually a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah,
Jones is a pocket passer that could be a dual threat if he wanted to.
Hurts is an effective passing and running quarterback because he can do those things at an effective level. Meanwhile, Jones couldn't do that, as good as Hurts could do this year, if at all, ever in Jones's career. And with McKinney, look, 7 picks, that's fantastic. So what? Like, any freaking safety can get 7 receptions and we'll be glorifying him. If Tyler Newman got 7 picks, everyone will be like, oh, well, see, we made a great job letting go of McKinney because we got Tyler Newman. Like, interceptions doesn't mean everything. Like, yes, it's great statistically, but that doesn't.
It's flashy. Just because it's flashy doesn't mean it's good.
Exactly. Watch. Next year, McKinney's going to have like 2 picks, and then Newman's going to have like 5 picks, and like, oh, Tyler Newman was a better safety after all. Like, it's going to be the same thing. And like, so that's why I give that half a point. Saquon, I think for me, I gave it a full point because of his effectiveness on the field. But at the same time, we have to consider this Giants team is not the same as the Eagles team. The offensive units are 2 different stories. The offensive line for Philadelphia is solid. Giants is very questionable. It's not like we have, the same offensive line issues like we had in the past, but there are still issues on the O-line. Of course, with the loss of Andrew Thomas this year, with the season-ending injury,
JMS regressing.
Yeah, that's a big concern. I think
concerning.
I fell for the narrative. I did that. I fell for the narrative that he was the best center in the draft, and that we needed a center. So I was super excited that we got him, and I think I believed in him because of all that. And so far, he's done nothing but disappoint. I understand that he's still in his second year. He needs time to grow, but his first 2 years in the NFL
been lackluster.
Very lackluster. Not the same guy that we expected coming out of college from Minnesota. So we'll see what happens with him, but not a good look for him. And we'll see what the Giants decide to do with the offensive line position in the offseason, because that's going to be a focus, I'm pretty sure. But overall, in terms of job security, look, Joe Schoen, I get he hasn't drafted the best players, but look, every GM doesn't have a perfect draft class every single year. Joe Schoen just nailed one in 2024. Sure, 2022 and 2023 have question marks, but those guys could turn into something still. Yeah. Tibbs, Neal.
He also had hits. Like, he had McFadden. Like, that was a great 5th round find. Like, like they say, like, yeah, everything's a bust, but like, we could be looking about next year like, hey, 2022 wasn't as bad as y'all thought it was. 2023 wasn't great. Like, but Banks turns it around. It looks better.
Wandale is a solid slot receiver. In 23, Banks could be, obviously he's a first-round pick, but at this point, if he could be a CB2 next year with the veteran being CB1 or someone that's, a top-tier corner,
yeah, then if the Giants go veteran quarterback, let's just say they draft Will Johnson out of Michigan, that could be something. Travis Hunter out of Colorado. Those all could be possibilities.
All possibilities, exactly. So, I mean, that 2023 class is probably the most concerning to me. I mean, JMS struggling, Hyatt not doing much. Just everyone in that, just everyone in that class is definitely all question marks, and I think that's why people are saying Joe Schoen should be fired, because of that draft class in 2022 not being as good as we expected it to be. But I think there are still pieces in that 2022 class and a couple of pieces in that 23 class, like we just mentioned, that could turn into something. I think we just need to give it a little bit more time. And with the way that he drafted the class in 2024, I think Shane deserves another chance. And we need to understand that, the whole Saquon decision and the Daniel Jones decision was not all because of him. We know that Mara had a say in everything, and he was the one who pushed for Jones he pushed for Shane to re-sign Jones and to let Saquon. Well, not let Saquon walk per se, but he kind of messed everything up. Mara did with the whole Jones thing.
And Shane didn't want to have his legacy attached to a running back like Dave Gettleman's was. Like, every time you talk about Dave Gettleman's tenure, it's the first thing you're going to talk about is him drafting Saquon number 2 overall. Shane didn't want to come in here and make the same mistake. Like, he was okay giving it to Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones is a quarterback. You pay quarterbacks. You don't pay running
Mhm.
backs. So
Yeah. So at the end of the day, for Daboll, yeah, I mean, to lose 30-7,
Daboll just
that's
might be like the scapegoat, and you bring in somebody like a Vrabel, a veteran guy who's just good with the locker room and can just get these guys back on track. I think Mike Vrabel will be the one guy I'd be like, yeah, fire Daboll for Vrabel, bring him in.
yeah. I don't want to see Daboll go.
I don't want
I
to see Daboll go and then bring in someone like Ben Johnson because you're just doing the same thing over again.
you doing that?
Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna fire Daboll, go in a different direction. Go bring in the Mike Vrabel. Go get the Lions defensive coordinator. Go something like that.
Get you a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
A veteran coach,
Yeah.
a veteran head coach, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Vrabel's, he's a tough guy. He's gonna be. He's not Joe Judge, which is obviously good.
But he's a culture guy. A lot of people actually compare him to Tom Coughlin leaving Jacksonville. Like, because like he brought him to an AFC Championship game. He had a 500 record. Took a year off from coaching. I'm like, I see the similarities. I can see where you're coming from with this one. And if we can get Tom Coughlin 2.0, be pretty happy.
I'm pretty damn happy. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think with Daboll, I would say my confidence from him, it was 70-30 before the Tampa game. Now it's 60-40. If this offense continues to stink up the joint, which on Thursday against Dallas, I think for me, I need to consider it might be 50-50 at that point. Because if they just put up a lackluster effort against Dallas on Thanksgiving, I think the question marks are just going to get, or the questions about Daboll will just get higher and higher and higher, which makes the seat warmer and warmer and warmer. So, by the way, I think one story that doesn't get talked about enough is Shane Bowen. I'm sorry, but his defense
not been what was advertised.
Wing Martindale's probably laughing right now in Michigan. Well, then again, Michigan still sucks.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like they brought in Shea Bowman because he was great at red zone D and stopping the run. This team can still not stop the run.
Cannot stop the run. Can't stop teams from scoring. All the good stuff.
Great.
So yeah, we'll see what this coaching staff looks like. But right now, everyone's seat is very warm at the moment, and it's a mess right now in East Rutherford for both the Giants and the Jets. But we won't talk about the Jets as much. But overall, this Giants team is they are at a very low point right now, and it could get lower on Thanksgiving when they play Dallas. Tommy DeVito is very questionable to play on Thursday. I don't think he threw today in practice.
Forearm problems, yeah.
So we may see Drew Lock after all, or Tim Boyle.
Hey, maybe Drew Lock's what this team needs. Maybe Drew Lock will have a connection with Malik Neighbors, and like, what if we get a Malik Neighbors Randy Moss game on Thanksgiving? 3 receptions, 190 something yards, 3 tutties. I think all Giants fans will be happy with that one.
Yeah. That's probably not going to happen, but
probably won't. But let's hope. It's a holiday. Let's be positive. Malik Neighbors is going 3 for 197 with 3 touchdowns. I can't wait for this team to ruin my Thanksgiving.
I'll be watching that. I'll be working and watching the game at the same time. So hallelujah.
That sucks.
I know. Yeah.
I'll be eating dinner hopefully.
Yeah. Not much to preview. It's the Cooper Rush versus the DeVito / Lock Bowl.
Thank God this time is on for Giants fans during dinner. Just go eat dinner. Don't watch the game. Go eat dinner with your family. Go be with them. Watch the Lions and Bears game. Be with your family during the Giants game, and then you can watch Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll see. I don't freaking know at this point. It's just...
I'll be watching all 3 because, I'm crazy. And the TV is, TV's close by, so I can keep an eye on the game, but I'm not expecting a W.
As we shouldn't, because it's a pathetic organization that we root for sometimes, man.
It is, and it sucks because this is supposed to be a model organization. This There's no reason why the Giants cannot be the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you're constantly winning year in and year out. They're so similar organizations, legacy owners, and all of this. But just for some reason, Art Rooney runs the team correctly, and John Mara is an idiot.
I hate life.
Wow.
Anyways, I think that's all we have Giants-wise. So we can
We
finally
probably should
move
hop
on.
off the Giants before it gets really depressing.
Yeah, we can move on. Hello, darkness, my old friend. As we move on.
Think positive. Come on. Neighbors, Randy Moss Thanksgiving game.
Yay. No. All right, Giants. I mean, not Giants. Week 12 was fun. Otherwise, I mean, it's always fun when other teams are competing. The Titans won. They beat the Texans. I will say.
Huge. I was rooting for the Titans all day.
There's some big concerns with Houston, and it's obviously the beginning of the year. A lot of people had Houston win that division single-handedly. Yeah, the fact that the Titans have a chance to possibly win this division at 3-8 is shocking. Because they are only 3 games back. They just beat the Houston Texans. The Jags aren't that great. The Colts aren't great. Like, this division is a mess, and the Texans are just choking it away. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's CJ Stroud struggling.
It is CJ Stroud struggling. I think when CJ Stroud lost Nico Collins, it threw everything off because Collins was on pace for 2,000 yards, and just losing him, I think that the offense lost that identity and they just kind of scuffled since. They couldn't find someone to replace Collins, so they just kind of struggled since.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, there's some conversations need to be had over there.
Yeah.
I
don't want to give up on Stroud. It could be just a sophomore slump. Every quarterback goes through it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we probably rushed him too quickly as being the number 1 quarterback in the league, but he can still be a really good quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but yeah, he had multiple touchdown passes the first time since October 13th, but he had multiple interceptions and was sacked 4 times. That Houston offensive line is also a major concern as well. So, not everything is blamed towards Stroud, but that offensive line definitely an issue there. As for Tennessee, offensive line issues are still the issue over there. Despite the win, he was sacked 7 times, Levis was, in the first half alone. And he is the first quarterback to be sacked 7 times in multiple halves of a year since Randall Cunningham of the Eagles was sacked in 1986.
I think it just makes it more impressive that he was under that much pressure and could, get the ball out.
Yeah, and they put 30 damn points against the Texans. Not too bad.
Yeah. How many times in this show did we blame the sacks for the reason we didn't score 30 points?
Yeah, look at Will Levis.
Will Levis just does it.
Damn right.
Like, Will Levis has a redemption arc, which I don't think many of us saw coming, but there's a real chance he's the number 1 quarterback for the Titans going into 2025, which is only good for us because the more teams that don't need quarterbacks, the better.
Mm-hmm. And Levis isn't too bad. I mean, he was drafted in the 2nd round for a reason, and he just needs. The Titans lack weapons, and they lack an offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. Sonic and Knuckles continue to get the job done in Detroit as the Lions won 24-6 over the Indianapolis Colts. Those two, Gibbs and Montgomery, are the first NFL duo ever in history to score 10 rushing touchdowns each in consecutive seasons. So they did last year. They did again this year. I will say, if you're a Lions fan, you got to be super happy with what's going on. Because just the whole offense and just the whole team, the vibes are great. They're scoring points. They're holding opponents to little or no touchdowns. Aaron Glenn has done an outstanding job as a defense coordinator for Detroit. And the Colts just could not get anything going. 6 points scored, even with Richardson at quarterback. So don't know if we should be praising the Lions more or be more concerned about Indianapolis. But
I mean, I think both because the Lions just week in and week out crush teams. It's 3 weeks now, and the Lions just continuously beating up on teams. This offense is for real, and I I really think the Super Bowl is theirs to lose right now. Like I know it's still early. We haven't got to December yet, but just with the way they're playing right now, like it's theirs to lose.
Mm-hmm. They have all the pieces to do, and I know it sucks that Hutchinson is out, but I think he could yeah, can't even talk. He could be back for the Super Bowl. I think from what I read, I may be mistaken. But I don't think
broken tibia and fibula.
Yeah,
he is rehabbing right now.
So
he was in a pool. There's optimism. Yeah, right around Super Bowl 59. Be right around when he can come back.
Okay. See, so we'll see. I mean, it's even if he is held down, I think it's more than likely they won't let him play because of just health concerns and don't want to rush him.
They'll let him suit up, and he might get some plays here and there, but I don't think he'll be a main contributor.
Mm-hmm. So. Chiefs barely escaped Carolina.
Chiefs got some issues. Chiefs not great this year.
I got issues. You got them too. Nah, but the fact that Carolina's offense was actually moving the damn ball.
Bryce Young looked great. He looked like the Alabama Bryce Young.
I'm really happy for him. Look, I know Dave Canales hasn't really named him the starter the rest of the year. It's more like a week-to-week basis. No, after this game, you don't.
He would have to have a Nathan Peterman type game to go on the bench at this point. I think
at this point, yeah, he was outstanding on Sunday against the blitz. He was great. 11 of 13, 135 yards and a touchdown when he was blitzed, which is on 38% of dropbacks. And he was on these snaps, he was getting pressured. I mean, he was seeing 5 or more defenders, no problem. He was slinging the rock. And the fact that the Panthers, he kept them toe to toe against this Chiefs team and this Chiefs defense. They're a pretty solid unit. And the fact that one of the worst offenses in the NFL kept up with the Chiefs, major props to Carolina, for sure. And yes, I know they let the Carolina's defense, I should say, let Noah Gray had a pretty decent game, but at least Travis Kelce was contained, and that's all you can ask for because Noah Gray isn't going to have this good of a game every single week for Kansas City, let alone be the best offensive target for this team. So, yeah, I have a lot of praise for Carolina. No praise towards Kansas City because, like I said, the downfall is coming. We just don't know when. And this game, they won. They escaped on a game-winning field goal. This is
like 3 weeks in a row now. Like they should have lost. They should be on a 3-game losing streak right now.
Yeah, but it's the Chiefs. So
yeah, they got Taylor Swift black magic.
Yeah. For 3 quarters.
Imagine having to explain to a Swiftie that they lost to the Panthers. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Wait, so how'd they lose? They just played better. How? I don't know. They just did.
But we have Taylor Swift. No,
but we have Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce. Yeah, he's not that good anymore.
He's fallen off. I don't know if it's him or if it's just defenses just solely focusing on him a lot.
I think it's a mix of both. Like you can't tell me with Jason retiring, having that podcast, dating Taylor Swift, like. You can't tell me his mind is 100% on football. He might say that, but there's a lot of distractions going on right now. And he's seeing the writing on the wall, goes, man, I can make so much money and not have to get my head bashed in 20 times a week. I might just go that route. I mean, Jason's getting a talk show on ESPN.
I think Travis should join him.
Travis, within the next 2 years, will be retired. He'll retire early.
Okay, yeah, good prediction to me.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas 34, Commanders 26. For the first 3 quarters, looked like a snooze fest, and both teams were just.
Then both teams just took a bunch of cocaine and went crazy.
It seemed like it. The Commanders had a excellent chance to tie the game up after Jaden Daniels hit McLaurin for an 86-yard touchdown, but Austin Cyberts missed extra point. kept the game at 27-26. Commanders hit an onside kick, and then Dallas recovered said onside kick, but they didn't just recover it; they scored on it. Juan Ye Thomas was the one who recovered it for a touchdown for Dallas, and that just sealed the deal as the Cowboys won 34-26.
It should seem like it should happen more, but when was the last time a onside kick got returned for a touchdown? Like, you would think it would happen more than because if you just get past that first wall of defenders, you're pretty much gone.
Oh yeah. I think because teams are so focused on just recovering,
right?
The ball.
Yeah, getting down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But for Dallas, it was just, I guess it just bounced their way good enough to just recover it, and
I think he just saw the hole and he's like, "I'm going to take it."
Mm-hmm. So for the Commanders, after what was an excellent start to the season, they are faltering just a tad. At this point, it is Philly's division to lose, which sucks to say.
Is the rookie of the year still Jane Daniels to lose? Because I think Bo Nix is making a very, very good case for why he should be it and not Jaden. Which sucks to say as a big Jaden fan, but I think Bo Nix is entered in the conversation, and it's 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Bo Nix, once again, an outstanding game, by the way, against the Raiders. 25-42, 273, 2 touchdowns for the Broncos, who are now 7-5 on the year. So they're knocking on the door. They're not too far off from a wild card spot. You know,
they're a team I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs.
No, they're a gritty team. They are a gritty team. Bo Nix has not hit the rookie wall whatsoever. And it was a rough start to the year, but he's settled in, has played well. You know, they beat the Raiders, who have major concerns of their own. They have quarterback issues. Gardner Minshew's out for the rest of the year, I believe, with the collarbone. So it's going to be either AOC, not the politician, Aiden O'Connell to be exact. The other one, exactly. Or it's Desmond Ritter. We'll see what happens with the Raiders, but shout out to Denver. Oh no, what's the other one? Oh no,
No. Did you see the report? I think it was JPA Football already said Daniel Jones turned down a Raiders offer. Yeah, the Raiders already tried to get him. He turned it down. Imagine getting turned down by Daniel Jones.
Give me a break. So
Tom Brady's like, why did I buy this team?
Eagles won 37-20 over the Rams on Sunday night. Saquon Barkley had an outstanding game, 302 yards from scrimmage. He broke the franchise record for rushing yards with 255. He had 270-plus rushing touchdowns. He was great. Not much to say there. Eagles have won 7 straight now. So they're playing themselves to be a very good NFC contender. Not better than Lions. No. I have Philly at number 2.
It's Lions and it's Eagles. Like, they're right there.
Yeah. And then the Ravens, Monday Night Football, won a good one over the Chargers, 30-23. They were trailing 10-0 in the second quarter, but the Ravens offense, proceeded to score in 5 straight drives. Got the job done, and they won. As for the Chargers, though, defensively just couldn't stop the Ravens.
A lot of drops, too. Especially in that fourth quarter. They dropped the ball a lot.
Yeah, he was Justin Herbert. He is accurate. Just these receivers are
He's hitting those guys in the hand. Like, there was the one Joshua Palmer where he had the defender on him. I thought the defender got a hand on it. No, Palmer brings the ball in and just goes like this with it. I'm like, oh. And the Chargers fan was back. Did you see her last night?
Oh yeah,
you made her return to Monday Night Football.
You think she's an actual diehard Chargers fan? You think, or she's like a plant?
She's got to be a plant because she's just overreacting.
A lot too.
Like sure, like when my receivers drop a ball, like I'll like grab my head and stuff, but I'll just kind of stand there like this. I'm not falling, doing this, like
she does a bit much.
Yeah, you're over. Like I'm like, okay, let's go next play.
Yeah, but she's like,
yeah, like she's like every single play is like the Super Bowl. It's like it's week 12. Chill.
I know the Chargers are still in contention for the for a playoff spot, but we gotta keep it to.
But like a play, like you get mad and then like you kind of move on to the next play. Like unless it's something like egregious, like the guy standing wide open in the end zone and he drops the ball, you might harp on it a little bit, but like you kind of like, oh, you have a reaction and then you kind of get back to normal.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's kind of it for week 12 of the NFL season. We will be talking about week 13 this upcoming week, starting with the Thanksgiving games on Thursday, and then, more football on Sunday and Monday. So we'll see
And
how those
Friday.
games go.
Don't forget Friday. Black Friday game. Chiefs Raiders.
Yay.
Well, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying we have a Black Friday game.
Why are we coming up? I don't sure.
I
More football. Yay. I
remember the Jets originally wanted this game. The Jets last year when
why the fudge would they want this game? Do you not remember what happened last year?
Well, that's it. Before the game, when they had Rodgers and all the hype, the Jets asked the NFL to be on Black Friday, and they were going to make a tradition. The Jets always play on Black Friday, how the Cowboys and Lions always play on Thanksgiving. That was their plan. And then it happened, and then they were like, oh, we probably shouldn't do this anymore.
For good reason.
I had the first half over in that game, and we were touchdown away, and the interception to bring it back hit the over. It is the most exciting bet I've ever hit in my life.
I don't know how that.
To this day, it's got to be divine intervention. God was up there, was like, Brian needs to win a bet right now, and he just made it happen.
There you go.
Praise be.
Hey man, good luck comes to those who wait. I will tell you that. Buddy.
Oh, and I've been waiting. I've had my worst weekend of betting this week.
We'll turn it around this week because
Turn it around this week. We're starting early.
We'll try
Thursday
it again.
night.
We'll try it again. All right, before we go, we got a little game for both of us that we're gonna play. It's time for Would You Rather. Yes, I decided to go on Reddit yesterday.
Why?
I have no clue. But I wanted to, because why the frick not? And I saw Would You Rather questions that were interesting. So I've got 5 of them, and we'll ask each other. Well, we'll give our answers for each question, I should say. If we don't have a moderator. Yeah. All right. First question of Would You Rather. Guess what, Brian? You want free service for a lifetime. Would you rather have a private chef or a free maid?
Free maid. Do all the cleaning for me. Because I feel like chef, you can kind of learn.
Okay. I cannot cook. I'm not good at it. I would love to have a private chef to freaking make outstanding steak or Wagyu or whatever the case may be. I can manage the cleaning. I feel like cleaning can be fun if you have music in the background. Other than that, yeah, cleaning sucks. But cleaning's not that bad. You just need to have tunes in your ears, and yeah, it can be fun. So give me the private chef. I can take care of cleaning myself. All right, next question. Would you rather fight a mountain lion, but you're armed with a kitchen knife? Or would you rather fight a swarm of 500 hornets, but you're unarmed?
So, like, is it just like, am I in an arena or am I in, like, the woods for the hornets?
You are in the woods.
Okay. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with mountain lion. I feel like I could just get the trick you with the with the butter knife.
Yeah, kind of take your chance because hornets, dude. I think from your
because like I'm just trying to think like, can I jump in a lake? But like, how long can I stay underwater? I feel like if I can just get the mountain lion in a position with the butter knife, I can just like get an artery or something and get him.
Yeah, like you can, you know, you kind of have to run around a little bit, but then once you find that spot, just stab that knife in and you good. So. Yeah, I would take the lion too, because at least I have a knife I could, you know, use with the hornets, and I'm unarmed. Like my best chance is just running. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll take my chances trying to stab the lion's artery. So...
Exactly. All right. Would you rather be stranded butt booty naked in the North Pole, or would you be stranded in the Sahara Desert, but you have to wear 5 layers of clothing that you cannot take off?
I'm going naked in the North Pole.
I would have to say the same thing.
I feel like I can handle cold better than heat.
Fudge, wait. Because I hate the cold weather. I'm wearing a freaking hoodie. It's not even that cold.
Right, yeah. I mean, I've been in the cold my whole life. Like, I kind of know how to
5
deal.
layers of clothing?
Yeah, like, that's a lot of clothes. And, like, what kind of clothes are we talking? Like, we talking, like a shirt like this or, like, jackets?
Probably, like, shirts and a couple shirts, a couple jackets.
Like, you walk around, look like the kid from Christmas Story where his arms are out and he can't put his arms down?
Yeah,
Yeah, like, that sounds miserable.
Shit, yeah, I'll take my chances with the cold.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
let's say
the cold says, like, I can try making a fire in the North Pole. I don't know
That's
what I
true.
can find, but I could try.
try, kind of stay warm.
Like-
yeah, that's true.
Like,
The
I
question was
can't
not specific.
I can't try to cool off in a desert because you can't.
Water.
What?
But-
Yeah, but you're in a desert.
The desert, exactly. So it's gonna be hard to find water. All right, this is the weird one for you. Would you rather stay locked in a 100-yard field with a hippo without escape, or would you rather rob a high security bank with the death penalty guaranteed if you get caught? Now, here's some context for you. For the hippo situation, you need to stay for 24 hours in there, and there is tall fencing that prevents both of you guys from escaping. You can't leave the field whatsoever. You don't have anything with you. You got minimal food and water that will get you through the day. But remember, you cannot climb the fence. Remember, hippos are very freaking deadly. For the bank situation, you need to rob this bank, obviously. It's a high security one. You have 2 weeks before the day of, to plan everything out. But if you get caught, you cannot get rid of the death penalty. No matter what you do, who you hire, it is guaranteed. You can use whatever method you want, though. Transportation, bring how many people you want, anything. But remember, if you get caught, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going with the hippo.
I have 2 weeks to prepare. If I get the right people, and if I'm smart enough, which I think I am,
I'm not smart enough to rob a bank.
I will take the robbing the bank option, because if I walk away with a good with my life and a whole lot of freaking money. Money may not buy happiness, but hell, it could help out with a lot of things. So give me the bank.
I constantly lose my phone when it's just like sitting on the couch with me. I'm not robbing a bank.
Hey.
I'll take like I'm on a football field with a hippo. I'll just stay in the other end zone. All right, it's over there. I'll just stay this side.
Fair enough. Last one, a little bit dark. Would you rather die 15 to 20 years too soon or 5 to 10 years too late? Now, for some context, if you die too soon, it happens quickly with little to no pain, but you're missing out on like milestones like seeing your kids get married, meeting grandchildren, seeing the world, etc. If you die too late, you get to experience all these milestones, which are great, but those last years will be like, you know, dealing with age-related illnesses and stuff like that, and you will see your partner and all your friends pass away before you. So it's either you go through the pain yourself first, or see your friends and family kind of go through that first before you die. And you know, to that last point, you're also going to be suffering painfully. So
I think I'm going 5 to 10 years too late, because like if I have all the milestones and like all my friends are gone, like I'll just be okay. Like, all right, I've done everything. I can just go now.
Mm-hmm. It's just I think that's just the fear of missing out on those milestones is kind of getting it for me. But then again, I think the pain of just seeing my friends and family go through death first.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But like,
What
I
a
don't
dark
want to leave
question.
people. I don't want to leave people missing me. I'm like, I'll just miss them. I'm okay with that.
True. I'll take the 5-10 years too late. As much as it would hurt to see, you know, everyone pass before me, it's just, I'm sure it would hurt them to see me go first. And I don't want to miss out on like those milestones, like seeing my children get married and seeing, you know, meeting the grandchildren, seeing the world with my significant other and all that stuff. Yeah, give me the 5 to 10 years too late, and unfortunately, we'll have to go through the pain of, you know, the age, illnesses, and all that stuff. So, yeah, way to end on a dark question, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, that'll do it. for the 30 podcast. This was a fun one. Oh, except for that last question. I don't know. I found it was an interesting question. I just wanted to go.
That's an interesting idea. I mean, that's an interesting idea. It's like which would you rather have? But
100%.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was a good one. Would you rather? We'll see. We'll see if we can do it again next week. But this will be the only episode of the week because of Thanksgiving, and so we hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family. Enjoy all the activities, eating, watching football, spending time with the family, all that good stuff. And remember, of course, just be safe out there. Obviously. And yeah, you'll see me and Brian next week. But until further notice, you can follow us on social media. Brian at PG1016. You can follow me on social media at Nathan_Nguyen24. And you can follow our social media page above, which is 3rd and 10 Pod, which is now up in the middle. For those of you who stuck with us from beginning to end, we appreciate you guys. We hope you guys enjoyed the intro that we have now, which will be a consistent intro now for our podcast. And then we hope to get clips up this week. No promises, but we will try our very best. So for Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. And we'll see if the Giants can either ruin our Thanksgiving or make it better.
They're going to ruin it.
Yeah.
The Malik Neighbors, 3 catches, 197 yards, 3 tutties.
We can only hope.
Take it to the bank.